Nothing stings quite like being ignored or disrespected by your own child. You raised them, nurtured them, and sacrificed so much to give them a good life, and yet some days it feels like you're invisible. Maybe they don't respond when you speak, roll their eyes at your words, or dismiss your advice like it's meaningless. You tell yourself, they don't mean it, they're just young. But deep down, it hurts. It leaves you wondering, when did things change and how do I fix this before it's too late? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Disrespect and emotional distance between parents and children are more common than we like to admit. But here's the important part. How you respond in these moments can make all the difference. Reacting with frustration, anger, or guilt can push them further away, creating a cycle of resentment. But what if instead you approached the situation with calm, clarity, and confidence? What if by making a few small but powerful changes, you could regain your child's respect and, more importantly, rebuild the bond that seems to be slipping away? In this video, we're going to walk through a proven, emotionally intelligent approach to handling disrespect from your children. No yelling, no guilt tripping, just effective strategies that truly work. From setting boundaries to leading by example, we'll explore how to cultivate mutual respect in your home, even when it feels impossible. Stay with me until the end, because one simple shift in how you handle this situation can transform your relationship forever. Let's get started. 1. Understanding the root of disrespect. Disrespect from a child doesn't happen in isolation. It's not just a case of them waking up one day and deciding they no longer respect you. More often than not, it stems from unseen struggles, shifting priorities, or learned behaviors. Maybe they're facing pressure at school, struggling with friendships, or dealing with emotions they don't fully understand. Sometimes children pull away not because they don't love you, but because they don't know how to express what's going on inside. As a parent, it's easy to take their behavior personally. You might think they don't care about me anymore, or I must have done something wrong. But before jumping to conclusions, take a step back. What's really behind their behavior? Are they ignoring you because they feel unheard themselves? Are they acting out because they're mirroring how they see adults communicating? Sometimes children push boundaries not to hurt you, but to test where those boundaries truly are. Another common mistake is assuming that respect must be demanded, but true respect isn't forced, it's earned through connection and consistency. If your child has gotten into the habit of dismissing you, it's time to reflect. Have I been modeling the kind of respect I expect? Have I unintentionally ignored their feelings when they needed me? Understanding the deeper reasons behind their behavior allows you to approach the situation with wisdom, not just frustration. And once you recognize what's driving their actions, you'll be in a much stronger position to change the dynamic for good. 2. The power of staying calm, your first line of defense. When your child is rude or dismissive, your first instinct might be to react, maybe by raising your voice, shutting them down, or demanding immediate respect. But reactivity only fuels more resistance. Instead of drawing your child closer, it creates an emotional wall between you. If you've ever tried to discipline a child while you're angry, you've probably noticed that the more heated you get, the less they actually listen. That's because anger activates their defense mode, not their reasoning. Calmness, on the other hand, is a silent but powerful tool. It communicates confidence, control, and emotional intelligence, all qualities that naturally command respect. When you stay composed, you're showing your child that their words or actions do not have the power to shake you. This is crucial because if a child senses that they can easily trigger an emotional reaction from you, they might start using disrespect as a way to push buttons or gain control. So how do you practice staying calm in heated moments? First, pause. Before responding, take a deep breath and give yourself a few seconds to collect your thoughts. If needed, remove yourself from the situation temporarily. Second, lower your tone. Instead of matching their intensity, bring yours down. A firm but steady voice is far more effective than yelling. Third, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Your goal isn't just to stop the disrespect in the moment, it's to teach them how to navigate conflict with maturity and respect. When you respond to disrespect with grace, you're setting a standard for how communication should work in your home. Over time, they'll begin to mirror that same emotional control back to you. 3. Stop chasing, start attracting, creating an environment of respect. Have you ever noticed that the more you chase after someone's attention, the more they pull away? It's the same with children. The harder you try to force connection by demanding they listen, nagging them to engage, or guilt-tripping them for ignoring you, the more they resist. Respect doesn't come from chasing, it comes from presence. Instead of insisting on their attention, be the kind of person they want to engage with. Show interest in their world without forcing conversation. Ask about their hobbies, listen to their music, or watch something they enjoy. When a child feels genuinely seen and valued, they naturally start to reciprocate. The key is to create an atmosphere where respect and connection feel natural, not pressured. Think about your own life. Who do you naturally respect? Likely it's people who make you feel understood, safe, and valued. Your child is no different. If they feel like every interaction with you is a lecture or a correction, they'll start tuning you out. But if they see you as someone who listens, encourages, and respects their individuality, they'll start responding differently. Another key shift: give space when needed. Not every ignored text or rolled eye is a personal attack. Sometimes children need time to process their emotions. Instead of constantly pushing for a response, allow natural moments of connection to happen. When you stop chasing and start simply being, you'll be amazed at how often they come back on their own. 4. Setting and reinforcing healthy boundaries. Respect and boundaries go hand in hand. If your child ignores or disrespects you, it's often a sign that clear boundaries haven't been set or haven't been enforced consistently. Many parents hesitate to put boundaries in place because they fear it will drive their child further away. But here's the truth: boundaries don't push children away, they provide the structure they crave. A child who doesn't have clear boundaries is left to figure out limits on their own, and that often leads to frustration, resentment, or defiance. When you set fair and consistent boundaries, you're sending a message: I love you enough to give you guidance. I respect you enough to be clear about what is and isn't acceptable. So how do you set boundaries effectively? First, be clear and firm. Vague or inconsistent rules create confusion. Instead of saying, stop being rude to me, say, I expect us to talk to each other with respect. If you continue speaking this way, I will walk away and we will talk later. Second, follow through. If you set a boundary but don't enforce it, your child will quickly learn that your words don't hold weight. If you say, I will not engage in conversations where I am being yelled at, and then continue arguing, you're sending mixed messages. Stick to what you say. Third, model boundaries in your own life. If your child sees you allowing others to treat you poorly, whether it's in friendships, family, or work, they'll assume boundaries are optional. Show them what self-respect looks like. When boundaries are consistent and firm, they create a foundation of mutual respect. Over time, your child will learn that respect isn't just a rule, it's a standard that shapes healthy relationships. 5, actions speak louder than words, leading by example. Children don't learn respect from lectures, they learn it from observation. If you want your child to treat you with kindness, attentiveness, and consideration, ask yourself, am I modeling those same qualities in my daily life? It's easy to focus on what they're doing wrong, but a more powerful approach is to demonstrate the behavior you want to see. Start with how you treat them. Do you interrupt them when they're speaking? Do you dismiss their opinions just because they're younger? If a child feels constantly invalidated or unheard, they're likely to reflect that same energy back at you. Instead, show them what respectful communication looks like. Pause to listen when they talk, respond thoughtfully, and acknowledge their feelings, even if you don't agree. A simple, I see why that's frustrating for you, goes a long way in making them feel valued. Respect also extends to how you handle conflicts. If your child sees you lose your temper, shut down conversations, or resort to guilt tripping, they'll absorb those habits. But if they watch you handle disagreements with calmness, honesty, and firm but fair boundaries, they'll naturally start mirroring that behavior. Every interaction is a lesson, whether intentional or not. Another key aspect is how you treat others. Your child is watching how you speak to the cashier, how you respond to a frustrating phone call, or how you treat family members. If they see you acting with kindness, patience, and self-respect, they'll internalize that standard. Remember, respect isn't something you demand, it's something you inspire. And when they see it consistently in you, they'll be far more likely to reflect it back. 6, quality time over quantity, rebuilding the bond. Disrespect often stems from disconnection. If your child is dismissive or uninterested in your presence, it may not be a sign that they don't care. It may just mean they don't feel emotionally connected to you. The modern world is filled with distractions, responsibilities, and pressures that pull families apart. But the good news is, rebuilding that bond doesn't require grand gestures or hours of forced conversation. It starts with intentional, quality moments. Many parents assume that spending more time with their child will fix the issue, but quantity doesn't equal quality. You can sit in the same house all day and still feel disconnected. Instead, focus on meaningful engagement. This means putting your phone down when they're talking, giving them your full attention, and finding ways to connect that feel natural, not forced. One simple but effective approach is the 2-minute rule. Instead of trying to force long conversations, spend just 2 minutes fully engaged in their world. Ask them about their favorite game, comment on something they're watching, or sit beside them and show interest in whatever they're doing. These brief but genuine moments of attention create the foundation for deeper conversations later. Another powerful strategy: shared activities. Instead of sitting them down for a serious talk, try doing something together: cooking, watching a movie, going for a short walk. Connection happens in moments of ease, not pressure. When your child starts to feel that bond, respect and communication naturally improve. They'll stop ignoring you, not because they feel obligated, but because they genuinely want to engage. 7, knowing when to give space and let reflection work. Sometimes the best response to disrespect is no immediate response at all. Not every battle needs to be fought in the moment, and forcing a conversation when emotions are high often backfires. Children, like adults, need time to process. If you demand immediate respect, apologies, or engagement, you might only push them further away. Instead, learn the power of giving space. When a child ignores you, reacts rudely, or refuses to engage, your instinct might be to confront it right away. But instead of escalating the situation, pause, step back, and allow them room to reflect. This doesn't mean ignoring the issue. It means choosing the right moment to address it. A calm, well-timed conversation is always more effective than a heated exchange in the moment. Encourage self-reflection by phrasing your words carefully. Instead of saying, "You were so rude earlier, you need to apologize now," try, "I noticed you didn't respond when I was talking to you. I'd like you to think about why that happened, and we'll talk later." This shifts the responsibility onto them, allowing them to process their own behavior without feeling forced into an immediate reaction. This approach works especially well with older children and teenagers who are naturally more resistant to authority. When they feel like they have ownership over their own actions, they're more likely to correct their behavior on their own, and when they do come around, acknowledge it. A simple "I appreciate that you took the time to reflect on what happened earlier" reinforces the idea that respect is a choice, not just a demand. 8. The magic of positive reinforcement. We often focus on correcting bad behavior, but one of the most powerful parenting tools is recognizing and reinforcing positive behavior. If the only time your child hears about respect is when they're being scolded for lacking it, they may start to associate the word with negativity. Instead, make respect something rewarding and affirming. When your child does something respectful, whether it's responding to you tentatively, helping out without being asked, or speaking kindly, point it out, not in an exaggerated way, but in a way that lets them know it was noticed. A simple, "I really appreciated how you listened to me just now. It means a lot," or "I noticed you put your phone down when I was talking. That showed a lot of respect." These small acknowledgments create a positive association with good behavior. Another important shift: focus on what's improving, not just what's missing. Instead of saying, "You never listened to me," try, "I really enjoyed the conversation we had yesterday. I'd love to have more moments like that." This reinforces what you want more of rather than just what you want less of. Some parents worry that praising good behavior too much will make a child complacent. But acknowledgement isn't the same as spoiling. Everyone, regardless of age, thrives when they feel seen and appreciated. When your child starts realizing that respect leads to positive interactions rather than just avoiding punishment, they'll begin choosing it naturally, not out of fear, but out of genuine understanding. Parenting is one of the most challenging and rewarding journeys you will ever take, and there's no guidebook that guarantees a perfect outcome. There will be times when you feel unheard, unappreciated, and even disrespected by your child. It's painful, frustrating, and at times exhausting, but here's the truth: you have more power in this situation than you think. The way you respond, whether with anger and frustration or with calm confidence and wisdom, determines whether the cycle of disrespect continues or begins to shift. Respect isn't something you can demand. It's something that is cultivated. It's built over time through consistency, emotional intelligence, and genuine connection. The strategies we've discussed today, staying calm, setting boundaries, leading by example, fostering connection, giving space, and reinforcing positive behavior, are not just quick fixes. They are tools for transforming your relationship with your child for the long haul. Maybe you're thinking, but what if I've already made mistakes? That's okay. Every parent does. What matters is what you do next. It's never too late to start making changes that lead to a healthier, more respectful dynamic. Start by implementing one small shift at a time. Maybe today you simply pause before responding emotionally. Maybe tomorrow you take 2 minutes to engage in your child's world without expectation. Over time, these small moments add up to big transformations. And remember, your child is watching you. Even when it seems like they don't care, they are absorbing how you handle conflict, how you communicate, and how you treat others. Your actions teach them far more than your words ever could. If you want to raise a respectful, empathetic, and emotionally intelligent person, be that person first. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these strategies do you think will have the biggest impact in your situation? Have you tried any of these approaches before? Let me know in the comments. I truly value your thoughts and experiences. Your input might just help another parent who is going through the same struggle. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights on parenting, emotional intelligence, and family dynamics. Our goal is to help you create a home filled with mutual respect, love, and meaningful connection. And if you know a parent who could benefit from this, consider sharing this video. It could be the encouragement they need to make a change. At the end of the day, respect is a two-way street. Your child may not fully understand that yet, but with patience, consistency, and love, they will. And one day, they'll look back and realize that the foundation of respect you built didn't just shape your relationship, it shaped the kind of person they became. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I believe in you, and I know that with the right mindset and tools, you can turn this challenge into an opportunity for growth for both you and your child. Until next time, stay patient, stay strong, and most importantly, stay connected.